It's me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to the latest episode of the Timmy Flyersguy podcast. I have a special guest on my show. She is the writer of Flyers Nitty Gritty, Samantha Wismer.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I am good.
I hear that you cover the Lehigh Valley Phantoms.
I do.
That's pretty awesome. But I've been a Phantoms fan since they were in Philly.
Yes, when they were the Philadelphia Phantoms.
Yeah, that was a great year. Jeff Carter, Mike Richards.
Yep. Then back in 05, 06, we had Frank Bialawas.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yep. Fighter.
Yep. So I watched the Flyers last night. Good game. Tough loss though, but they played hard.
They did. They came out, they played. The defense was defending, so that was new.
Yeah.
And Carter Hart looked great.
Yeah, he did. He looked great. He looked better than Erson.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that, but you got to understand that Erson is also trying to get used to American ice. He's not used to American ice. He's used to Swedish ice, and it's a lot bigger over there, and there's just different rules. So it's going to take some time for Erson to get used to American ice.
I think Felix Sandstrom had the same problem.
He did, but Sandstrom's a lot better now.
Yeah. So it's a pretty good game. How do you feel about them being on TNT now?
As long as it gets televised, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I say too. Yeah. So how long have you been a Phantoms fan?
Phantoms fan since well, my brother played for 18 years, and I stopped watching around 2006. I just got back into it around 2016, and they were already up here in the Lehigh Valley by then.
I stopped watching when they went to Adirondack.
Yes, when they were the Hershey Bears.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Well, they were the Adirondack Phantoms, not the Hershey Bears, but yeah.
But I did see the Adirondack Phantoms. I saw them play in Philly when they played the what's race rating Penguins when they came to Philly that one time.
Yep, Penguins are still a very big rival of us.
Yeah.
And the Bears.
Yep. Phantoms were so close to winning the Pennsylvania Cup last year.
Yeah, they were, but COVID kind of took over, and the team was out in the later part of the season. So it is what it is. We only lost the championship by 1 point. So
yeah,
much better than the year prior.
Yeah.
The 1920 team was just god awful, horrendous.
So yeah, we couldn't really depend on the Binghamton Devils to beat the Bears for us.
No, not in the 1920 season. We couldn't.
Nah. I still remember that Calder Cup game when they played Charlotte, and Alex Lyon made 99 saves.
He made 94 out of 95 saves.
Yeah, 94 out of 95. That was a good game. I wasn't watching it, but I was listening on it. I was listening to the game on my Amazon Echo, and I stayed up all night, and I listened to the whole game.
Yeah, that was also the longest game in AHL history.
Yeah.
And Alex Lyon came in like second most saves in a playoff game.
Yeah, that was a pretty good series, though. They lost to Toronto Marlies in the second round, though. That was pretty tough.
Hey, it happens. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
With Flyers, we lose a lot, but it's fine.
Yeah. That last game of the season, when they played Binghamton, that referee, I don't think he knew what he was doing. Because there was a lot of blown calls in that game.
Yeah, there was a call last season in the last game. There were actually two different calls where uh, the Devils, the well, they were at the time, the Binghamton Devils, had tripped their own goalie, but they said it was us, and then they gave us a goalie interference as well
Yeah.
because they didn't want us to win the game.
Yeah. I think that referee was, I think he was new.
Might have been.
I went to one Phantoms game with my dad back in 2015. May he rest in peace. He passed away in 2016, and I remember going to the game at the PPL Center with my dad.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
It's alright. He's up in heaven now, and he's watching over me and my whole family.
Yep, and he's watching over the Flyers too.
Yeah, and me and him, we saw the Phantoms win the Calder Cup when they were in Philly in '05.
Okay.
So, and that was during the lockout, and I kept thinking to myself, how am I gonna fill my void without Flyers hockey? And then I decided, might as well go to some Phantoms games.
Okay. I'm always there.
Yep, and I went to Reading when they were Reading Royals were in the playoffs, and they played
Yep.
the Stingrays. I went with my dad. That was a fun game. They have
Yeah. The Royals is a fun time.
yeah, a lot of people there are very passionate about their city and their team, much like us.
Yeah. Um, I like the AHL. I'm not really a huge fan of the ECHL, but that's where a lot of these guys come up through.
Yeah, that's where Wilman came from.
Yeah, Max Wilbon
Yeah,
and Sandstrom, Ustimenko, Matt Strome.
yeah. Ustimenko was okay in last preseason, but he was really good when he played for Reading, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Ustimenko did just miss an entire season due to a torn hip labrum, so I'm interested to see how he will do and where he'll be.
Yeah, me too. So, who do you think's gonna make a big splash for the Phantoms this year?
Well, if we don't get injured anymore, um, I really think Tyson Forrester.
Oh yeah, me too. It sucks that Zay Wisdom got hurt.
Yeah, Zayd should be back by December. Um, Another one that I think could make a big splash is Wyatt Wiley.
Oh yeah, me too. My brother was telling me about him. That he's gonna be real good.
He's a great defenseman,
He's got
and
he's got a great shot too.
he does. And also Igor Zamola.
Oh yeah, he had a great game last night. That goal was amazing.
Cam York too. So
So
uh, we've got a couple guys that could be making big splashes this year.
yeah, so the Flyers right now are trying to figure out a goal song.
I did not vote yet.
Well, they were testing some songs out. When Igor Zamola scored the first goal, they were playing Tarzan Boy by Baltimore, and when Sushka tied it up, they played Here Comes a Hot Stepper.
Oh, okay, so that's what I was hearing last night. I was at the game.
I would love them to bring Rohim back.
The who?
They had a song Rohim. It was in 2009, 2010, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't around in 2009, 2010, but that sounds like a pretty cool goal song.
Yeah. So who's your favorite old school Phantom?
Old school Phantom. Oh, good question. I have to say Carter.
Yeah, Carter was good. He was good. I liked, I was a big Nitamaki fan.
Okay. You know, and if we're going way back, one of my dad's personal favorites was anybody on the 75-76 team. The Stanley Cup team.
Yeah, my dad too. He was a big fan. I actually got to meet Bernie Perron a couple times at the Flyers Carnival. He is a nice guy. He one of the nicest guys on that team.
Yeah, we typically have pretty nice players.
Yeah. So this is my first time really doing a podcast with a writer for Flyers Nitty Gritty, so I'm kind of nervous about that. So if I start to pause, I'm just thinking of questions.
That's okay. It's nerve-wracking to even have a podcast. I have my own podcast. It's called Phantoms of the Spectrum.
But yeah, I follow them on Twitter.
I do it live every week.
That sounds good. So this video will probably go up on YouTube tomorrow.
Okay.
One of my episodes, I interviewed Lou Nolan. And
pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. He's nominated to be one of the Flyers Hall of Famers this year.
Yes, he is. I think he'll get it.
Yeah, me too. But I don't know what we're gonna do if he retires.
Well, he is an old school Flyer. They usually stick around.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Bob Roadshaw? Do you think he's a great announcer?
I think he's a pretty good announcer. I mean, I've listened to him for about 5 years now. So
yeah, he seems like a pretty down to earth guy too.
He's a real nice guy. I have nothing bad really to say about him.
Yeah.
He's always real helpful. Always willing to do anything for anyone.
Yeah. He's a funny guy too. Right when you listen to him.
Yeah, he can be. He likes to talk during press conferences, so press conferences are always fun.
Yeah. I also watch the Phantoms on TV when they're on WFNZ sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think Steve Degler was one of the commentators.
Who?
Steve Degler.
Okay.
I think Todd Fedoruk also.
I actually just did not me, but Jamie Baskow published one of my articles today.
Oh yeah, I talked to him. He's pretty cool.
Jamie's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's given me a lot of opportunities in this field.
Yep. How do you feel about Taryn Hatcher and all the guys at NBCS in Philly.
Taryn Hatcher, I actually just met her on Sunday. She's great.
Yeah, listen.
Taryn Hatcher really sets an example for
Yeah.
females being in this field. It's no easy feat being in this field and being a female.
I listened to her Flyers Talk podcast with Jordan Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes Brooke Desher is on there too as well.
I also met Jordan Hall on Sunday. Super nice guy.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. So you don't mind if I talk Flyers too, do you?
I don't mind.
Alright, well, my favorite memory of the Flyers has to be the 09-10 season where they made the playoffs with a game where when they beat the Rangers in that famous shootout. And then they made the playoffs last game of the season. They eliminated the Devils. And that comeback against Boston was epic.
Yeah, I remember my brother talking about that. But one of my favorite memories was actually from last season, and I'm sure you watched the game. It was the May 3rd game against the Penguins, and Alex Lyon was in net, and he had to make that insane save. Where he had to dive across the net and lift his leg up and push the puck out of the way so that the puck wouldn't bounce off his pads into the.
Yep. I gotta say, those are my favorite games when they play the Penguins.
Yep. It's always a good time.
Yep. Not a big fan of Sidney Crosby. I respect him, but he can be annoying sometimes.
I have choice words for Sidney Crosby. Listen, I'll never deny the guy's greatness. He's a great player, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we had, remember Brizgalov?
Can you say that name again?
Brizgalov.
I don't remember him.
Okay. That's a long story. So, on 9/11, I watched the game where they stopped the game, like in the third period, and the president was doing a speech. That's a pretty good memory as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was like after 9/11, like September 13th it was.
Okay.
So, what's it like being a writer for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms?
It's a great time. The younger players definitely put on a show. It's entertaining, and some nights you feel like you're at a fight and a hockey game breaks out.
Yeah. I remember the first year the Phantoms were in Allentown, and they played the Phantom Senators, and they kept scoring. They scored like 3 goals in like 3 seconds. I forget. I think it was in December of 2014.
Yeah, that might have been it. I wasn't attending games just yet. Then 2016 is when I started going.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was glad to see the Phantoms move to Allentown. I think that was the right place for them.
We treat them well here.
Yeah. That's good.
And they have state-of-the-art stuff in their gym. They have nutritionists on staff. The boys get treated well, and honestly, the locker room for the Phantoms looks better than the one for the Flyers.
Yeah, it does.
It's much bigger.
There we go. I figured out how to enlarge the screen.
Yay!
So it's a little better. So, do you have any kids that like hockey?
I do not have kids, but I do have my oldest niece who is 10 and a half, and I took her to her first hockey game in April, and she fell in love with it. A fight broke out right in front of us, and she looked at me and said, "They can do that?" And I was like, "It's encouraged."
Oh, that's so cool.
So she was pretty enamored, and she got mad at me a couple months ago when she asked why they aren't playing, and I said they need to take some time off, and she said that it wasn't allowed. I said I agree, but the boys need a break.
Yeah, when that COVID hit, it really messed up everything for the Flyers in 2019-20. Flyers were on a roll. And then,
Yeah, they were. They definitely were.
and then COVID hit, and everything changed.
Ugh, COVID.
Yeah, I was going crazy without Flyers hockey for like the longest time.
We all were.
Which is why I made my own series on YouTube called Classic Flyers Theater. I did that when COVID started, and I'm still doing it now.
That's awesome.
Got a lot of great games on there. My first episode was the game against the Bruins, Game 7 from 2010. That was my first episode.
Okay.
So, are you familiar with the, do you know Flyers Fan Mania 93?
Yes, Chris Mayer is a good friend.
That's good. Yeah, Chris.
He's a very knowledgeable young gentleman.
Yeah, he is. So, I heard about you from this guy on Facebook. This guy on Twitter, Cryptic Cowboy.
Yep.
Yeah, he told me about you when I was doing a live stream, and he said I should have you, on my podcast. And I'm like, sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, he mentioned it to me, and you messaged me, so I thank you very much.
You're very welcome. It's an honor.
Yeah, like I said, keep doing your podcast thing. It's not an easy task.
No,
Trust me, I know.
So, when I was watching the games last season, there were some moments of frustration I had. Like, I would go on Twitter and I would rant about the whole thing.
Moments of frustration, no. For me, it was like every day of frustration because it was a bad season.
Well, actually, yeah.
I think we hit rock bottom, and the only way to turn that around is to go right back up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a disappointing season, and it was sad to see Brian Elliott go. He's with the Tampa Bay Lightning now.
Yep. Alex Lyon is no longer with us either. He is with Carolina Hurricanes.
Will he play for Carolina or Charlotte?
So the Charlotte Checkers are not the Carolina Hurricanes affiliate for the AHL. It's actually
Oh,
the Chicago Wolves. I'm
uh,
kind of hoping he'll play with the Hurricanes,
oh,
but
they,
right now it looks like he's going to play in Chicago.
so they changed their affiliation?
Yeah, they changed their affiliation
Yeah.
last year.
I just heard Binghamton is going to be Utica Devils now.
They're still the Utica Comets. They just changed the colors from blue and green to red and white or red and black.
Okay. So, yeah. And then I heard that the Sound Tigers will be the Bridgeport Islanders.
Yep.
Yeah, I talked to one of my friends. I'm not sure if you know her. She's on YouTube. Her name is Isles Girl 3.
I don't know her.
She's a big New York Islanders fan. I had her on my podcast, and she's really nice. I respect the Islanders. I think they got a great team, and they got a great coach, and I think they're gonna be quite the challenge this year.
They could be. They definitely could be a contender.
Especially now they got Chara back.
Yeah, Chara's not a man to be messed with.
Yeah. I see you have a dog.
I have two.
Oh, cool.
I have two German Shepherds that like to hear themselves talk.
I used to have a Labrador, but he got too big. We couldn't. They're hard to take care of when they get big,
Yeah.
and we didn't have a big enough house.
My girls are about 80 pounds each, so I've got some big girls in this house.
Yeah. So I look forward to watching the game tomorrow night. I know it's just preseason, but I'm excited to see Flyers hockey again and to see fans in the crowd. That was a good feeling right there.
Yeah, the Phantoms start their preseason games on the 9th.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't really watch them because they're not on AHL TV. They don't show preseason games.
Oh. Hmm. Well, I'll be there. Hopefully, I'll be there. Um, yeah.
That sounds cool. I like the guys they got. They got a lot of depth players. They got Adam Glendening, who used to play for Detroit, and I think Jerry Mayhew.
Jerry Mayhew, yeah, he'll be there.
So hopefully that helps the Phantoms, and hopefully if somebody gets hurt on the Flyers, they can come up and fill in.
Definitely.
I'm still a
I
little.
agree. I wrote an article a couple weeks ago on Jerry Mayhew.
I was really kind of kind of frustrated about the Wade Allison injury and the Kevin Hayes injury and the Sam Moran injury.
Yeah, it's frustrating. There's an update on Wade. So Tanner Lazinski will have surgery on his other hip. This is a long-term injury, and he's more than likely out for the year. And Wade Allison is being evaluated for potential ankle surgery. The decision is yet to be made. And that's coming straight from Bill Meltzer.
Okay. Is he related to Dave Meltzer?
I don't think so.
Oh, because they were the same last name.
Yeah, I don't think they're related. Bill's a great guy. I met him on Sunday as well, along with Charlie O'Connor.
Charlie O'Connor. I heard of him, and I listen to Flyers Talk podcasts. Sometimes they have Joe Fordyce on there.
Yep.
he really knows. He really knows his stuff.
He does.
So I think that for Tyson Forrester, I think he's gonna have a good year. I'm predicting maybe a 30-goal season with the Phantoms or the Flyers. I don't
Yeah, no. He has a shot like no other.
know. Yeah, but you don't really see that many 30-goal scorers in the AHL. It's like kind of rare.
Yeah. Tyson is just a very shoot first mentality player, and sorry, I'm not feeling well.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
And he had very shoot first mentality. So yeah, he definitely. I see him having a great year, especially and with a lot of goals.
Yeah, me too. I'm sorry that you're not feeling well.
It's all right. Comes with the territory of living in this day and age.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just hoping it's a head cold.
Plus the weather's changing.
Weather's changing. Yeah, it could be a head cold, but that's why I went to the doctor and they did shove the swab up my nose, so that was fun.
Oh, I hate that when they do that.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
So, I wanted to tell you about my story and how I became a Flyers fan.
Okay.
I became a Flyers fan from my dad. When I was a little kid, he would tell me stories about the Flyers winning the cup in back-to-back years. I started watching when I was 5 years old. I was a huge Ron Hextall fan. And I was so into the game of hockey. I would go outside, I would do the whole national anthem thing, and I would have a hockey net, and I would shoot the ball into the hockey net. So I did the whole thing.
Nice.
So Flyers, they really captured my imagination because they were an underdog. I'm kind of an underdog myself. So Flyers, I can relate to the Flyers.
How did I get into the Flyers?
Yeah.
Like I said, my brother played for 18 years. I grew up watching them. I lost interest for about 10 years. I got back into it, and now I'm in it full.
That's good. So I went through a lot in my life. In 2017, I had to go to the hospital. I ended up in the hospital. I aspirated through my lungs, and I had to get rushed to the hospital.
Okay.
And I had to watch Flyers games. Well, it wasn't when I was in the hospital, but when they sent me to the rehab facility, I had to watch Flyers games. Sometimes on TV, and sometimes I would have to listen to them on the radio because another patient would always watch football that night. So sometimes I wouldn't get the station, but I had the radio though.
Okay.
So I have a tracheostomy in my throat. I've had one for about a few years now. But I remember one time I had to go back to the hospital to get my gallbladder out. And I remember Brian Elliott sent me a nice message on the Flyers website, and it was in an email, and he sent me a nice message, and I was like, Brian Elliott, what a great guy.
Great guy, great goalie.
Yeah, he worked his ass off last year.
He definitely did. It was sad to see him go, but I think he deserved a chance.
Yeah.
I personally was a huge fan of Alex Lyon.
Yeah, Alex Lyon, he was a great goalie. He struggled a little bit to get that first win. He
But
almost got his first win against the Capitals, but unfortunately we lost that game in overtime.
it happens. Can't win them all.
Yeah, that's what my dad would tell me that too. So I have a lot of Flyers jerseys, and I have a lot of Flyers jerseys of players that don't play for the Flyers anymore.
Okay.
And that's the thing. You buy a jersey, and then the guy gets traded.
It happens. I have a game worn from TJ Brennan. He was a defenseman. He got traded in like towards when the season paused. So it was 2020. He got traded a couple weeks before that happened. I have an Alex Lyon jersey. I have a Cam Atkinson jersey. I have an Oscar Lindblom jersey, and I have a Carter Hart jersey.
That's good. I have a Nick Cousins Phantom jersey. I have the orange alternate one, which is
Okay.
our road jersey, I think.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Cousins was a great player.
Yeah. So I have a Nick Cousins Phantom jersey. I have a Yager Flyers jersey. I have a Forsberg Flyers jersey. I got a Gagne. I got a Briere. I got two Brieres.
Two Brières.
Yeah, I got one that's signed and one that's not signed.
My best friend Frankie has a Briere jersey, and he loved Danny Briere.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a lot of heart, Danny Briere. He was a little guy, but he had a big heart.
Yeah, he's still around.
Yeah. I went to a game where they were playing the Ottawa Senators, and I think the Flyers were losing, and Briere was just a one-man army in that game. He fought Kyle Turris, and he scored a couple goals, and scored the game winner as well.
That's awesome.
And I was shocked because I've never seen Briere fight.
Yeah, sometimes you see these players that don't typically fight, and it sends a message.
One guy I missed the most, Scott Hartnell. I miss
Yeah,
Hartsey.
a lot of people miss him.
Yeah, he was amazing. He did everything. Like, he would get under the other team's skin. And that's what I liked about him.
Yeah, we all need a couple of those.
Yeah. I know the Bruins have one. They got Brad Marchand. I still remember that when he whiffed in the shootout against the Bruins.
Okay.
Yeah, he was going for the Marchand was going for the puck. He missed the puck and Flyers won the game.
Awesome.
I think that was like 2019, 2020, like before COVID.
Okay.
So so you were a big Frank Violevis fan?
Oh, what?
Frank Villalobos, you liked him?
Flowers.
Yeah.
I was a fan, yeah. He sponsors the network that my podcast is on, which is Old City Sports Network.
Oh, that's right.
So he actually has a construction company up here in the Poconos now.
Yeah.
And yeah, great guy.
I just saw a documentary. Have you ever heard of a team called the Danbury Trashers?
Yes, actually. So talking about Danbury Trashers, there's a show on my podcast network. Well, it's not my network, but the network that my podcast is on, called the Halftimers Podcast. They actually just interviewed AJ Gallant the other day on Sunday, and he is the owner of the Danbury Trashers.
Yeah, I watched the documentary on Netflix.
I heard about that. I gotta watch it.
Yeah, that team, they were just like the Flyers. Broad Street Bullies, they were just
Awesome.
they had that
We
mentality.
always need teams like that.
Yeah, we do. So I hear hockey's going back to ESPN.
Yes, I've heard the same thing.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. Except I heard you might have to stream some of the games.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. Last great game I remember on ESPN was when the Flyers played Tampa Bay, and I think it was Game 6, and Gagne scored the game-winning goal.
I mean, what? He was the man.
Yeah, he was. I went to a game one time where they were playing the Atlanta Thrashers, and Gagne scored on the penalty shot. It was like maybe 23 seconds left in the period, and the game was tied, and Gagne scored the goal, took the lead, Flyers won. That was a great game.
It's great.
Yeah, Atlanta Thrashers. They were okay, but they weren't good in the playoffs. They weren't that good in the playoffs.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It happens.
The most frustrating year for the Flyers was 06-07.
I would say last year was the most frustrating year.
Yeah, it was pretty much tied.
Yeah.
It felt like I traveled back to 06-07 again.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people say that, but you know, sometimes teams have to hit rock bottom before they can go back up.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes you have to lose to win.
Exactly.
So that was the Flyers. They came close to winning the cup a lot of times. Back in 85, 87, 97, and 2010. Well, actually 1980 as well. They had so many chances. I really hope that they go all the way this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll win the cup, but I hope they at least have a shot.
I think they're in line to be a contender for sure.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, I've been a fan since I was a kid, and I've been waiting too long for them to win the cup.
We've all been waiting too long.
Yep. I heard a lot of people saying that when COVID occurred, there was a meme that somebody sent me where it was the Flyers, and then there was COVID, and then I forget what it was, but a lot of people were saying that the Flyers were cursed.
I don't think we're cursed. I just think we haven't had the right players.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think I have been hearing that Giroux. This might be Giroux's last season, and I'm hoping that it's not. Because I really like Giroux, and he gets a lot of criticism, and he gets a lot of blame.
I mean, anybody who is captain of a hockey team is going to face criticism.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna have a great season.
Yeah, I think he's going to as well.
I'm hoping that they reconsider and maybe sign him next year too.
You never know. I think he'll be signed by the end of the season.
Yeah. And I'm so glad to hear about Oscar Lindblom. He's cancer-free again.
Yes, that's amazing news. Oscar's a great guy, great player.
Yeah. Yeah, when I heard the news that he had cancer, I was shocked. I was a little frustrated about that because he was playing so good, and then that happened to him.
Yeah.
I think the Flyers had a great series with the Islanders. That was a great series. It didn't end the way I wanted it to end, but it was a great series. Hats off to the Islanders. They played great.
I completely agree.
And I got nothing against the Islanders. The only New York team I dislike is the Rangers.
Because they're a rival.
Yeah, Islanders are okay. They're not. I don't have a problem with the Islanders or their fans. They're very passionate fans, just like we are.
I'm interested to see how the Kraken's going to do this year.
Yeah, me too. Flyers have a game against them. I think on the 18th or the 16th. Yep.
I'll be there.
Sounds good. So where do the Kraken? Where's their arena?
The Kraken's arena?
Yeah.
In Seattle, I believe.
Did they come up with a name for the arena?
I believe they did. If you give me 1 minute, I can look that up.
Yeah, because I do Flyers pregame reports, so I like to get the info on the arenas.
Yeah, the Kraken's going to be playing out here at Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo Center. And then I think the Flyers go to Seattle and play them again.
It's called the Climate Pledge Arena.
Climate Pledge Arena, okay. Did you hear anything about the Arizona Coyotes? Them being bankrupt?
I heard about that, but I haven't heard anything about them going to a new arena yet.
Yeah, and when I heard that Gostisbehere got traded to that team, and when they got bankrupt, I was like, oh my god, I felt bad for Gostisbehere. I'm like, we just traded him to a team that's going bankrupt.
Yeah. Well, Ghost is a good player.
Yeah. I think he'll help that team a lot.
He will.
I got 2 Gostisbehere jerseys as well. I got a Stadium Series, and I got a 50th anniversary Gostisbehere jersey as well.
Very nice jerseys.
What's your favorite Flyers jersey? Like Flyers design? Like.
It's got to be the reverse retro.
Yeah, me too. I'm wearing one right now.
Yeah, I love mine. Mine's Carter Hart.
Oh, that's cool. I usually get mine without the name or numbers because I'm in a wheelchair, and it's kind of hard to get a jersey with a name and number on me when I'm in my wheelchair. So that's why I get jerseys without the name because I'm supporting the team. Now, not just one player, you know.
Yeah.
And plus, a lot of my jerseys with names on them, they're more of like a collectible for me.
Yeah, I agree. I like wearing my jerseys though.
I have a Wayne Simmons one too.
I love Wayne. He's a great player.
Yeah, he was. I was hoping the Flyers would would sign him again, but it didn't happen. But you never know.
You never know.
Never thought we would see Gagne again, but he came back in like 2013.
Uh-huh.
Him and Mike Knuble.
I mean, JVR disappeared for a year and came back.
Oh yeah. I remember there was a video where Giroux was like he was mic'd up and he was calling JVR a pigeon.
That's funny.
It was like JVR played for Toronto.
Yep.
I noticed the Flyers aren't doing their annual game that they play in Allentown this year.
What game?
They usually have a preseason game in Allentown when they play like the Devils or the Islanders.
We have two pre games coming up. We have one on October 9th and one on the 13th.
Right. Who are you guys playing?
Believe the Penguins and the Bears.
Oh yeah. I liked Mark Friedman, but he's become a target of the Flyers.
Yeah, Freedsy has a little bit of a mouth on him.
Yeah, he does.
Great player, great guy, but the mouth.
Yeah. He said some things about the Flyers right after he got traded.
Yep.
But I guess he was just frustrated.
I mean, every right to be. All the other players were.
Yeah. I used to like Zach Ronaldo. I mean, he was pretty good, but he did a lot of questionable things on the ice.
Yeah, Zach Ronaldo was. I hear he was a fighter.
Yeah, he was a fighter. He was pretty tough for his size too.
Yeah.
But you know, he was good, and he reminded me so much of a young Carcillo.
Okay.
So, do you live close to the arena, the PPL Center?
I live about 35 minutes from it.
Oh, that's cool. Nice arena.
Very nice arena.
When I went there, me and my dad, we had a good view of the action. We saw a fight too.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of fights up there.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that bench clearing brawl that they're gonna have soon. I hope one of those happens. That'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I saw a couple. I remember when the Phantoms, when they were in Philadelphia, they played the Binghamton Senators, and all hell broke loose. They all started fighting.
Yeah, fights break out quite often up there.
I saw Tyrell Goldborn fight Zach Stortini. I remember he knocked Stortini out.
Yeah, Goldborn was great.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Phantoms hat with his autograph on there.
Oh, cool.
I met him at the Flyers Carnival.
Yeah. I think we could have put Tyrell up there, but you know, things happen for a reason.
Yeah, he got traded.
Mm-hmm. I apologize for my dogs.
That's alright. We used to have neighbors that used to have dogs, and they would bark all the time. And then all the other dogs in the neighborhood started barking too, so.
Yeah, I live in the mountains, so I don't really have neighbors.
Your dogs are their hearing is very sensitive, so that's probably why they bark a lot.
Yep. They hear things we can't.
So it's good. It's good having you on here, and it's good meeting you. And I'm glad to have you on here.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
So I just got a few more questions before I go. What do you expect of the Phantoms this year, and what do you expect of the Flyers this year?
I expect the Phantoms this year just to keep the energy that they had last year going. And for the Flyers, I expect much better defense. Just by watching the scrimmages and the preseason game last night.
Yeah, me too. The power play needs some work.
Again, it's the first game of the first preseason game.
Yeah.
You know, you got to give time for the team to mesh and gel.
Yeah, I think they might be better tomorrow night when they play Boston.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, me too. Well, it was good having you on. Thank you for joining me on the Timmy Flyersguy podcast.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Where can people find you on social media?
So you can follow me on my personal Twitter at Samantha Wismer, Wismer, and I'm also on Instagram with my own podcast at Phantom Spectrum on Instagram, Fan Spectrum on Twitter, and you guys can like us on Facebook, and we also have a group, and we go live every week.
What's the name of the group? I'm thinking about joining.
Phantoms of the Spectrum.
Got it. Alright, you can follow me on Twitter at Flyersguy8654. You can follow me on Instagram at Timmy_Flyersguy. And check out the Timmy Flyersguy podcast on my YouTube channel, Timmy Flyersguy. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining me and Samantha Wismer on this podcast episode. I hope everyone has a wonderfully gritty day. Thank you. It was good talking to you, Samantha. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much for having me.
Let's go Flyers.
Yes. I'll let you stop recording.
And Phantoms.